Introduction to e-commerce. Hi, this is Cinderella, and in this part you will understand better what e-commerce is, how this e-commerce works, the advantages and disadvantages in both provider and customer. In the past few years, e-commerce has been one of the ways to buy and sell products. Unlike many offline stores, consumers can access e-commerce websites 24 hours a day. Customers can read about services, browse products, and place orders whenever they wish. In that sense, online shopping is extremely convenient and gives the consumer more control. Furthermore, those living in more remote areas are able to order from their home at the touch of a button, saving them time traveling to a shopping center. What is e-commerce? E-commerce, also known as electronic commerce or internet commerce, refers to the buying and selling of goods or services using the internet and the transfer of money and data to execute these transactions. E-commerce is often used to refer to the sale of physical products online, but it can also describe any kind of commercial transactions that is facilitated through the internet. When did e-commerce start? Not long after that, in 1979, an English inventor was credited with developing the concept of online shopping. Michael Aldrich had just finished his supermarket errands with his wife when he had the idea of hooking up their television to the supermarket to deliver the groceries. Aldrich then connected the TV to a transaction processing computer using a telephone line, giving birth to what he called teleshopping, or shopping at a distance. This teleshopping system was marketed a year later as a B2B system, or business-to-business system, although no evidence shows that it was ever used for commercial retail. Finally, in 1990, Tim Berners-Lee and Robert Kalial built a hypertext project called World Wide Web. They used an X computer to create the first web server as well as write the first web browser. In 1991, the web debuted as a publicly available service on the internet. He then married the hypertext to the internet and developed the URL or Uniform Resource Locator, HTML or Hypertext Markup Language, and HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol. What is the first e-commerce introduced? Around this time, the world saw the first secure online purchases, with the notable ones being an order of large pizza from Pizza Hut and a Sting CD. In 1992, one of the first e-commerce sites, Bookstocks Unlimited, was opened by Charles M. Stock. It became Books.com in 1994 and eventually became part of Barnes & Noble in 1997. Dell became the first company to have an online sales record of $1 million. It was also during this era when the Secure Socket Layers or SSL encryption certificate was developed. The security protocol made by Netscape provided better security for data transmission over the internet. The web browser would first check a site for an authentic SSL certificate to know whether to trust it or not. This came in the heels of customers' hesitations and concerns with online shopping. Today, SSL encryption protocol is a standard for most web servers, making it a vital part of web security.
Hi, my name is Christy Alpe, and I'm here to answer your questions. Where?
Where do you use the opportunities of e-commerce actually in your daily life? Every one of us knows e-commerce implies electronic e-commerce. E-commerce basically means buy, sell, and exchange products, services, and information through computers over the internet. On an e-commerce platform, a person can deal with customers around the world. Let's find out the most popular e-payment system. Online vendors can encourage consumers to purchase online through alternative online payment methods. E-wallets and payment gateways are bringing bank and non-bank payment options to the table. Here's our list of payment players in the Philippines: Smart Money, GCash, Dragon Pay, OnePay, Peso Pay, PayEasy, MOL Pay or MolPay, WePay, 7Connect, Coins.ph. Where are the visitors located geographically? By breaking down your customer base into groups, you can target your resources and ensure your audience receive the messaging that is most relevant to them. There are 4 types of market segmentation, and each offers a different way to define an audience. First, demographic segmentation. Grouping customers by identifiable non-character traits like age, gender, or income. Grouping customers based on their personalities and interests, including beliefs, hobbies, and life goals. Geographic segmentation. Grouping customers with regards to their physical location. Behavioral segmentation. Grouping customers based on their past actions like spending habits, browsing habits, and brand engagements.
Hello guys, I am Danilo Jr. and now I will be explaining the advantage and disadvantage of an e-commerce.
E-commerce advantages. The internet might be the single most important phase of modern society. It plays a primary role in everything from political discourse in higher educations to the way we conduct ourselves in our businesses. It's no wonder then that switching to an e-commerce model comes with significant advantages. First advantages is e-commerce eliminates the needs for physical stores and allow businesses to expand their customer base. On top of eliminating the possibility of long lines, e-commerce sites offer a huge advantage to both shoppers and stores that are not located in the major urban areas. Even if you are located in a big city, e-commerce opens up new markets, allowing you to develop new business models geared toward your expanding consumer base. Many businesses have found particular success in developing good e-commerce search engine optimizations, which drives more traffic to the site. Your business can also save money on rent, utilities, maintenance, and other costs associated with physical store. Your e-commerce store can essentially remain open 24/7 without hiring employees to watch over the store and protect items. Since you are not confined to a set amount of shelf space, there are no limit to the number of items that can be sold online. And your store stocks can expand exponentially, physical products will still have to be stored somewhere. While it may initially seem like e-commerce will solve all your business problems, there are disadvantages to switching from a physical locations to an online store. First disadvantages is many consumers still prefer the personal touch and relationship forms at a bricks and mortar shop. This can be especially valuable to the customer shopping for specialized products as they want to consult an expert about the best product for their needs. Solid customer service handling can't be replaced face-to-face interactions with a specialized sales representative. Additionally, many customers want to experience the product before purchase, like when shopping for clothes. Second disadvantage is security and credit card fraud are also huge risks when dealing with online shopping. Consumers run the risk of identity fraud, and similar hazard every time they enter their details into a site. If your site does not convince your shoppers that the knit-out process is secure, they could get scared out of buying. On the other hand, businesses run the risk of phishing attacks and other forms of cyber attacks. If one of your employees opens just one malicious link, it could compromise your website functionality, financial information, or worst of all, your customers' information. Speaking of cost, there is a multiplicity of regulations and taxes that comes with opening an e-commerce shop, and a fair amount of confusions as well.
Hi, I'm Crispy May Yuekuna, and I'm gonna be tackling how e-commerce differ from the traditional commerce and how e-commerce works. Alright, now let's focus on answering your how questions about e-commerce. First, let's know how do e-commerce differ from the traditional commerce. In answering these questions, let's base on its definitions, usage, process, mode, time, purchase, involvement, business, and last is the maintenance. E-commerce is a form of online shopping where users can buy goods and services from their electronic devices such as laptop, mobile, or tablet. While traditional commerce, it is traditional approach to buy goods and services in person, which involves face-to-face dealing. So, when we say e-commerce, it is completely digital and online mode, where communications is through electronic form, where the traditional commerce, pag sinabi natin traditional commerce, it is completely offline and through in-person or face-to-face. Next is usage. E-commerce is reachable worldwide and has more connectivities. Kahit saan ka mang parte, as long as meron kang internet, pwede kang maka-access sa mga e-commerce site. Whereas traditional commerce, it is limited to a particular geographical area, especially smaller. Next is process. In e-commerce, it is easier to use and operate if the customer has a basic digital gadget knowledge. Whereas in the traditional commerce, it can be followed by any persons. Bata or matanda, may kaalaman man sa gadgets o wala, lahat ay pwede makabili in this form of business. But ngayon na pumapasok tayo sa digital world at kasagsagan ng pandemic, it is much profitable if your business could also enter the electronic commerce. Unang-una, lalaki ang target market mo. As long as ang area ay mayroong internet, it could be your target market, or they could be your customers. Next is mode. In e-commerce, it is in electronic or digital mode only, whereas in traditional commerce, it can be in any form which is non-electronic or manual form. E-commerce can have several payment modes such as online transactions, digital wallets, for example, GCash or PayMaya, or cash on deliveries. Whereas in traditional commerce, it can only have cash payment in persons. So, in short, it is a face-to-face payment transactions. Next is time. In e-commerce, it is available round the clock. It means that your business is not limited and open 24/7. While in traditional commerce, it is available during limited time as prescribed by the law and based on the type of the business. So, if you're an entrepreneur and your business is in e-commerce, your profit is not limited, not unlike in traditional commerce. Next is purchase. In e-commerce, inspecting a product before purchasing is not possible. While in the traditional commerce, inspecting a product before purchasing is possible. Why? Kasi nga naman, sa traditional commerce, tayo mismo ang pumupunta sa store para bumili. Nandun yung presence natin, nakikita at nahahawakan natin yung product nila. While in the e-commerce, sa phone lang natin nakikita pictures lang yung nakikita natin. So, hindi natin alam kung maganda ba yung kalidad ng product. But in e-commerce, we have this return policy. So in e-commerce, they accept the return of product if not interested or not liked by the customers within 7 to 15 days, depending on the seller, which is good pa din naman. Whereas in the traditional commerce, it does not provide any such return policies until there is a damage in the product. So, kahit na hindi natin ma-inspect yung product before natin ito mabili sa e-commerce, at least, pwede pa din naman natin siyang i-return at mabawi natin yung pera natin. So, it's a good deal pa din naman. Next is involvement. In e-commerce, it involves only digital gadget engagement to place the order. Whereas in traditional commerce, it involves face-to-face involvement of both buyer and seller, which is hassle to the part of buyer. Kasi nga naman, babiyahe ka pa, may initan ka, pagpapawisan ka, lalo na kung sale, makikipag-unahan ka pa. Whereas in the e-commerce, less hassle, makaka-save ka pa ng time, at hindi ka mahuhuli sa mga sales na pinibigay ng seller. Next is business. In e-commerce, more business or job can be done easily without any hassle. Since it is in electronic commerce, all transactions can be done digitally. Whereas in the traditional commerce, it is difficult to perform since it takes a time, effort, attentions in doing a certain business. Last is maintenance. In e-commerce, it is easier to maintain this as the only warehouse is enough to store the goods. Whereas in the traditional commerce, it is cost-effective as display and showcase of the product are required to attract the customers. So it takes a lot of effort, time, attentions, and creativity to make sure or to think how to showcase your product just to gain or attract more customers. Whereas in the e-commerce, konting edit lang, kuha ng pictures, pagpapaganda ng website, madami ka na ma-attract na mga customers. So, it is less hassle than the traditional commerce. Okay, so now that I already answered your questions about how e-commerce differ from the traditional commerce, let us now proceed to the second question, which is how e-commerce works. Okay, so along with the explosions of information technology in recent years, e-commerce business is increasingly popular. E-commerce process is applied in almost every working company in this field. Process of e-commerce business includes the following elements: marketing, customer, visit website, view product, add to cart, checkout, transport fee, payment, receipt, processing orders, order fulfillment, and last is the shipping. Online business works pretty much on the same principle as an offline or retail store does. On a broader scale that I mentioned a while ago, the whole e-commerce process can be broken down into three main components or work processes, such as receiving orders, processing order information, and last is the shipping. So, receiving orders. This is the first step where customers place the order through the e-commerce platform or what we call website or an online portal. For example, Shopee or Lazada. And when the customer places the order, the seller makes a note of it. So next is the processing order information. This is the second step where all the details of the orders are processed and complete. And when it is complete, it is now ready for the delivery. So last is the shipping. The last step wherein the delivery process is carried out. All the logistic components play a significant role in this step to ensure timely delivery to the customer. Okay, so that's how the whole e-commerce works. Keep in mind that if you get the basic right and conduct your e-commerce business in the right way, you will surely enjoy the good profits. Always remember that proper business planning and implementation are the keys to a successful online store. Thank you.